Warning, the following podcast is intended for immature dads only. Listener discretion is advised. This is Dad's Game Review, the most casual hardcore gamers around. Reviews and news from every platform. We waste our time so you don't have to.
What's up, kids? Welcome to another episode of Dad's Game Review. I am Paul Squilacci, and I am joined this week, as always, by a boob.
What? Which one? Which one? Left or right?
I don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter. I'll take what I can get.
What's up with you?
What's going on, man?
Did we resolve all our tech issues? Is everything working now?
Yeah.
Every time we get started with the freaking podcast, it's like, can you hear me now? Is this working?
That's all it is, yeah. And then it's like recording. Wait, your voice isn't even coming through. One time we recorded once, and John was, this was a while back, and I didn't even know this was an option on a Mac, but you can choose the microphone to be like standard or isolative. And he was like, I don't know about you, but you sound like a robot. And I thought it was like a bit he was doing. And I started to do a robot. And he's like, no, seriously, you sound like a robot.
And it was the setting that was doing it to you?
And it was just a setting on a Mac that you could set in your whatever. Like,
I swear, and the same with me with the OBS, like trying to do my streaming. Like, I can just, what's funny is every time OBS updates, it'll just like randomly reset shit on you. And you're like, oh, it turned on options and turned things off. And then you get back to it and you're like, my setup looks the same, but everything's fucked up now. So whatever, we got it working now. Yeah. What's going on with you the last 2 weeks? What's up?
Oh, let's see. Last 2 weeks, what happened? Nothing.
What an exciting life.
I started school and I'm stressed as always. And I'm trying to meet the demands of the great Josh, who has nothing to do but play games and
hold down a full-time job and spend 8 hours a week in the gym. Not 8 hours. Fuck that. Let's try like 3.
I made a commitment to myself that so I've been going back and forth with getting bariatric surgery, right? That's where they cut your stomach out so you stop eating. You can't seem to do it on your own, Paul. Let's do it surgically. So a lot of concerns came up from, loved ones. My sister's a doctor, and she's like a, I don't even know what kind of doctor she is. That's how well I know my sister.
Wow, amazing.
But she came from New York. She's like, I'm going to be in San Diego golfing. We should do lunch. And I went with her and her husband, and I was talking to her about it, and she's like, you shouldn't do that. She goes, you can gain that back. So there's no
easy. You can rupture your stomach and stuff too.
Yeah. She goes, it's very dangerous, blah, blah, blah. You're old. That's all I heard. So
it's really for people that don't have self-control and are morbidly obese. It's not an alternative for somebody that's just like 40 pounds out of shape. Like
I went to the classes, and let me tell you something. You go to these classes with other people, and it's like the Country Bear Jamboree. You go in there, everybody is way bigger. Like, they look at you and they go, oh my God, how did you get to that weight? Like, and you're like, I'm fat too. And they're like, no, not really. So I decided that once the girls start school, which they did already, I'm going to go back to the gym. I'm going to go back to Planet Fitness because it's so purple.
I know it makes it sound too easy, but weight loss is math. But yet I've had no luck with my intermittent fasting recently that I just finally quit. Scale wasn't moving, and then I quit and I lose 4 pounds. So I'm like, well, nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing fucking
I know.
matters.
It's always like, if you eat on a Tuesday, make sure it's before 6.
Because I had reliable weight loss with intermittent fasting, 2 pounds a week, like clockwork. Once I was on it and like had everything under control.
Yeah.
And I spent the last 2.5 months between the middle of May and like the end of July, intermittent fasting 20 hours a day, 18 to 20 hours a day, and controlling what I eat. And I'm pretty sure I was in the calorie like deficit, and I was working out 4 to 5 times a week, and just I had some body recomposition, muscle and fat switch places, but I wasn't losing any fat around the belly, and I was like, what the fuck is even going on?
That's my thing, is that
it's the hardest to lose, and especially if you're like really overweight at one point and you lose a bunch of weight, you get this leftover fat that like doesn't burn. It's like kind of lumpy. and like cellulite, and it doesn't really go away, and it's like
Yeah.
wearing a garbage bag of your body,
So
like
what did you
from
do
leftover fat. I just have loose skin. That's just what I do. I have
as
loose
a
skin.
former fat man? What did you do?
I'm still fat. I look in the mirror and I hate what I look at,
Bro,
but yet I kick
don't
my
even.
ass every
Don't,
I kick my ass every day, just
don't make me take my shirt off on camera.
yeah, well, you feel towards me like those bigger people felt towards you. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. I swear.
anyway,
Anyway, that's all I'm doing. I just been and I collected did I talk about the Xbox I bought, right?
yeah, that's all we talked
wait.
about last time. I don't need to hear more about
Ta-da!
your fucking Xbox One. What?
No. I purchased an Atari Game Station
Oh, I
Go.
saw that. That actually looked kind of, I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't play it, but it looks
I
interesting for a thing, for a tech thing. It's cool.
It was cool. It's got 250 games on it, and I've always wanted it. It's been in my wish list. So it was. I got a gift card
But this is
somewhere.
that was an official Atari item, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah. So at least that's better
um,
than those stupid ones you see on like Wish.com. That's like 5,000 games for 24.99.
yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah,
this
so this
has
is official.
250 games, and it was mainly Atari, and then it had Atari, like people who redeveloped original Ataris. So they called it Atari Recharge. There's pinball machines on there,
Cool.
and there's games from Jalico, like from the arcade, and Data East.
And
And I
you
was
played for
just
20
playing.
minutes and you were bored.
No, I started
I'm
playing
just
through
teasing.
it. Like I got through a bunch of games. I was like, oh, I never played this before. I never played this before. And I actually, it lasted the week, believe it or not, right? And until somebody on Twitter, J Wolf, actually said to me, he goes, you can put ROMs on a micro SD and plug it in
Hmm.
into that, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And then I went down this rabbit hole last weekend. I just found like it does MAME ROMs. So I just like uploaded all my MAME ROMs into it. And I love it now. It's just a portable arcade.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's
cool.
great.
I
It's
used to do
great.
all kinds of handheld gaming, and I got back into it earlier this year. I was playing the Portal and some of the Switch almost every night, and then comics took over, and now I read in bed instead of playing Portal in bed. So we had a like life shakeup this last week. I've
Go on.
mentioned many times on the podcast that we live in Grandpa's home, and we've taken care of Grandpa for a long time. But
Right.
he did pass. He took 2 weeks ago, right after our last podcast. That day actually, he took a major
Yeah.
downturn. He stopped eating. He wasn't walking anymore. And then last Sunday was the last time I went and saw him, and he was peaceful. He was smiling. He couldn't talk, couldn't communicate. He was totally he's lost in dementia land. But I was just showing him
Mm,
pictures of our life and the baby, and he got to meet his new great granddaughter, my little niece,
that's awesome.
3 days before he died. So
Right. Right.
he got to meet her. We got to spend time. My last memories with him are him smiling, looking at pictures of the animals and my niece and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And the thing is, and even though it's a loss, he's 96. We expect this at this age of life.
Right. Right.
Both my wife and I worked in convalescence for 10 years, so we've seen
Right.
what it can be like for an old person to head towards death. And there can be a lot of suffering. There can be a lot of
Mm,
years in the hospital type of thing.
yeah.
We're just happy that because of my sister-in-law, my wife, and me, much to a lesser extent, we
Right.
kept him living independently till 94, 95 years old
That's awesome.
in this home, just coming
Yeah.
over to make
Yeah.
dinner for him and keeping him active. And that when he did go in last year to memory care, he was only in memory care for 1 year. It wasn't a
Right.
convalescent hospital. It was an assisted living home in a suburb,
Right.
that was just turned into a little care unit. And he only had a very significant health downturn 2 weeks ago, and there was no suffering. He passed peacefully in his sleep. So
Mm,
it really could not have gone any better for someone's life. And living to 96, having no suffering, no hospital
right.
stays, you got to stay with your family in your home. So
Right.
we're okay. It was hard, and we have some sadness about it, but couldn't have gone
Yeah.
any better for somebody ending their life. So
Well, that's good. That's good. It's good that you had that because it's
yeah.
like, like I remember, when I was a kid, my grandmother died, and she was 98 or 99, and I remember talking to my brother, and I was like, hey, just so you know, I said, Grandma passed. In Italian, we say nonna or nonna passed.
Yeah, no, no, yeah.
And he's like, oh man, he goes, what was it? And I'm like, childbirth. She was fucking 98, bro. What do you think she died of?
I always hate that when people ask that. That's
Well,
like, my grandpa died. He was 92. What'd he die of? Well,
are you okay? Yeah.
yeah. Well,
It's
we
everybody's
kind of
cool with it.
About, and usually the last few years of life are suffering, so it's kind of sometimes it's a blessing that the person finally passes.
It is, because they don't,
they're not having a good time. It's all about quality of life. Like I worked enough with the elderly that if you're not having quality of life, just you wish you could just die.
Right.
That's why I always worry about strokes and stuff. I don't want anybody. I wouldn't wish a stroke on my worst enemy because you're just trapped in your body. So.
And of all the people, they're the happiest. They're like, please, sweet death.
So I mean, and this is some heavy topics, but that's what we dealt with this week, and what this show is. This show, I'm titling it. We're not calling it Heavy Rain when you put the freaking title up. We're calling it The Downfall of Quantic Dream, because I know
the downfall of Quantic Dream. Don't forget to send me
only played
an icon.
A little bit of Heavy Rain, but I played through 3 of their games this last 2 weeks, and some I've played before. But this company itself, Quantic Dream, has been one of my favorite publishing and production companies ever in the history of gaming because of what they do with games. Okay,
what is more annoying? Let's take a poll. What is more annoying, that you breeze through games to the point of envy, or
what do you mean breeze?
That I cannot find the time to finish the games as fast as you
act like I have all this free time and I'm like some mouth breather that sits there 8 hours a day playing video games.
Mouth breather.
I get home. Here's my life. Okay, I wake up at 6:30. I leave work to go to work at 7. I come home at 5:30 p.m. I make content until 6:30 recording, and then I play games from 6:30 to 9:30 playing. Like that's when I do the podcast or my free time. It's 6:30 to 9:30 every night.
3 hours.
How hard is it to find 3 hours in a day? I don't understand. You act like you have toddlers climbing up and down your legs.
No,
you have teen girls that don't give a shit and probably are independent and don't want to talk to their dad anyway.
Except when the TV falls off the wall.
Except when the TV falls off the wall and they have to interrupt our podcast. I don't understand what's so hard.
Because I get home at midnight from work.
Well, you have a different schedule. It's like backwards.
And then I have to wake up in 6 hours to take my girls to school. And then I come back home, and then I got homework because I'm getting my master's. So
yeah, no, I know the school stuff.
I can't do that.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
And then I got to listen to my wife go, "What'd you do all day? Did you clean anything?" No, because then by 2 o'clock I got to leave for work again. And she makes it like I have this 8 hours of just sitting around picking my balls.
Yeah, that's what you're doing to me. You're acting like I have all this free time. I make this stuff happen. To me, this podcast is homework. I make sure I get this shit done.
I make my stuff happen.
Because if you don't do it, how does it get done? That's something my dad instilled in me. And with losing grandpa and stuff recently, like I was thinking about all these, like how my dad and I were at such odds, like when I was younger, and I didn't really get along with him until I was in my 20s, but he instilled in me this work ethic,
right?
To just get shit done, do it right the first time, and don't make excuses. And what's funny is I find that I turn into my dad sometimes. And it's I don't know.
Once you get to a point,
people.
Yeah.
But then that's the game that we're covering here. So Quantic Dream Games.
Wait. I have to go back.
Well, I was just gonna say, because this is about a father. Heavy Rain is what we both played, and it's about a father doing anything
who's had the worst decade of his life
to save their son. And so that that was kind of reminding me of my dad and everything too. And we think about what influence our fathers have on our lives and stuff. So overall, the Quantic Dream games, I'm just gonna list them off what they are.
Go ahead.
IndieGoprophecy is the first one. It was on PS2.
I'll have you know, I booted that game.
Oh, way to start it. Did you see the title screen? You want to review the title screen? What did you think? How was the font? Was the coloring well?
No, it was old. It was when
it totally looks dated, yeah.
When Heavy Rain started, I was like, wow.
Oh, it's a huge, because Heavy Rain's the second game.
This held up.
PS2 to PS3. And then
I booted the Indigo one, and I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
I'm going to cover Indiegoprophecy in a little 5-minute segment, but it's really dated. But a huge upgrade to Heavy Rain, and then that won all kinds of awards.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
As he plays his intro music.
Sorry, no, I have keystrokes on my keyboard.
No stroking it on the podcast.
For the board. Anyway, I'm trying to type.
Beyond Two Souls is the third one.
Right.
That was also on PS3.
Yeah.
And the fourth one is Detroit Become Human, and that was on the PS4.
Great game.
And then they published a game that we played on a podcast last year, which was called Under the Waves. So they didn't develop it, but they published it, and it was still in the Same kind of like emotional storyline narrative game.
Right.
And so
Meh. That had a meh.
Tell me what you think of Quantic Dream Games, because you played Detroit Become Human, didn't you?
I loved it. I loved it.
That's my absolute favorite. If I was going to rank them, I would rank Detroit first, Heavy Rain second, Beyond third, and then I'll take the publishing of Under the Waves fourth, and then Indigo Prophecy fifth. So that's my favorite.
Yeah, no, I Heavy Rain, Detroit Becoming Human, Under the Waves. I would have to say Detroit first. Heavy Rain is a very close second. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. Just that it's plagued by oldness. You know what I mean? It's like, sort of like Pete Rose. Just.
Speaking of old references, let's go to the 70s.
He was very old. I mean, but at the time, you know what I mean? Like an old baseball player. Like it's great, but it's plagued by oldness. It's like it's not up to date, but that's not expected. You know what I mean?
Well, and let's start with Indigo Prophecy. Let me just give a quick little summary on that, because this is where this style of game started. Nothing like this had been done before. Indigo Prophecy was one of the first games I rented when I started GameFly back in 2007. I've literally had a 19-year subscription to GameFly. 2007. It came out in 2006, and it was one of the first games I rented, and it introduces you right away. You start up the game and you take the training, and the director has mocapped himself, the director of the game, and he's talking to you about his game and what he created and how it works differently. It's a narrative game. Your choices will affect the ending outcome and the scenes that you see. Your choices are made with the flick of an analog stick in different directions. That had never been kind of really done before.
Right.
And the way it plays out in Indigo Prophecy is like just a small little area at the top of the screen. It'll show you which way to flick your stick real quick.
Yeah.
And then it has these special sequences.
That was some advice from my uncle when I was 9.
Don't flick your stick.
How to flick your stick just right. It's my new coffee table book.
So in the gameplay, there's not a whole lot of gameplay in these games, and we're going to talk about that. Are these games? But it starts introducing where you hold down a button, or you hold down a multiple series of buttons,
right?
And that's your interactions. So they become QuickTime events and stuff like that. And then there's this Indigo Prophecy. Every time you have this super intense sequence, it pops up with. It looks like Simon. You remember that game Simon Says from the 80s?
Yeah.
Press the colors in order or whatever. Well, it corresponds to your two analog sticks going either up red, down yellow, green, and so. It gets fucking intense. It's so stupid. They start flashing colors at you, and you gotta fucking flick the sticks all different. And so Indigo Prophecy has these moments where so the story is, it starts with a guy walking into a bathroom, and this dude seems to be possessed. He comes out and murders him. He seems to have this cult thing going on. You play as these two detectives that come in. There's Carla, who's a Latina woman, and then there's very stereotypical black dude named Tyler, who every time he comes on screen, funk music starts playing, so they're extremely stereotypical and racist. But I love it. I was recording this for YouTube, and I'm like, watch Tyler's gonna get on screen. You guys ready for the music? You ready? Tyler's on screen.
That reminds me of the Simpsons episode where they were having a garbage problem in Springfield, and every time whoever he was, the guy who was in charge of the garbage for the town, every time he walked up to the podium, they played the Sanford and Son theme. And
No, that's honestly what this feels like.
And he was like, stop doing that.
and they totally go stereotypical with him. Like, it shows his house, and he's got a pimp house. Everything's pimped out and stuff. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. But then again, this is 2006.
Yeah.
But so that's the story advances. You're just trying to find out, was he possessed? Did he know? He's denying that he killed the person. He was under some kind of cold influence. The thing is, I get to this point, and I explained to you I got soft locked. Okay, so let me explain what a soft lock is.
Explain what that means, because I was like...
It means you've done something into a game where the game is not allowing you to advance. Something won't trigger. An NPC won't do what it's supposed to do. A thing won't happen the way it's supposed to happen. Something's not working out right. The game's not advancing. And nothing I do
sort of like when you bump a pinball machine and it tilts.
Yeah, or like an example from I was listening to our old podcast, like you playing the altars and you selling the workshop to get metal because you needed to workshop to create shit. That's a soft lock. You just fucked yourself over. You sold the thing that makes things to get stuff to make things. Okay. There's an example.
And I was texting you too. I'm like, I think I have to start over.
It still blows my mind. I listened to that podcast a couple weeks ago, and I'm just like, the fuck is he? Does he understand anything?
All right.
Okay, so what happened to me is I got to this section where, and you can switch between Carla and Tyler in their own homes by pressing triangle. You switch which character you're interacting with.
Right.
Well, you have to do some stuff with Tyler on one side that's supposed to trigger something that happens with Carla on the other side.
Right.
Nothing I freaking did. I had AI walk me through it and tell me, even AI is getting confused. AI is like, I it's supposed to do this. It's supposed to.
Frustrated like
If
me,
this isn't
Seeks, and Rick and
happening,
Morty. Just
it's like the AI is like telling me, if this isn't happening, I don't even know. Like,
right.
so I had to quit. So that's 2 tries now. I've never made it through Indigo Prophecy. Plus, both of us were having some like glitchy errors with the games.
Yeah.
I had all 3 games that I was playing at some point, fatal error and exit out and have to restart. And then you were having some weird what?
So it was like flickering, like the words, not the title. Like everything was gorgeous, like the facial, everything. It was just anytime subtitles came up or the reaction buttons that you have to use, they all jumped, like flickered, almost like a.
He showed me what it was doing, and I don't understand. I don't know if it's
like a
his
bulb
TV
was going
falling,
out in a
like
neon
his TV was
sign.
falling off the wall and it broke his TV, or if it was actual game glitch. But it was weird. He said it was ineffective.
I don't know because no other game does this, but I just feel it's maybe there's a graphical setting that I'm not setting on the game itself, because at first I couldn't even play it because like the trigger buttons, like hit square, hit R1, they were shaking so bad that I couldn't tell.
I can't even
what it
understand
was.
What would affect that.
I deleted the game originally and I reinstalled it and it stopped. And it just started today. So I'm thinking maybe if I don't know, maybe I'm not going to uninstall it again and reinstall it.
I still feel like it could be a TV thing because your
settings.
TV was all busted, falling off the wall and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
it didn't
whatever,
actually fall.
The point is, these are old games. That was the point. And, and what Indigo Prophecy was introducing was narrative games where it's just button presses to do the interactions. The entire gameplay is just flicking sticks and button presses. Right. So would you consider these games or experiences? Because the people that don't like these games, it's not even a fucking game, man. You don't do anything. And there's a trophy that pops up that called them. It's a trophy, one of the first trophies you get in after the intro of Heavy Rain, and it's called Interactive Drama. And so that's what I always called these narrative games, but they're interactive dramas. They're movies that you take part in.
I don't know, because Heavy Rain does have some sequences where you are actually playing a game, where like when you're driving your car against traffic for 5 miles.
But that you weren't driving. You were just flicking which direction to get out of the way. You weren't doing anything. You were flicking your stick.
If you didn't do those things, you died. The game went a whole different direction.
Right, but
so
are you actually in control of? I mean, are you playing it, or are you just flicking your stick?
I don't know. I don't know what to call it. I think it's a game either way. I mean, it's a game. We're playing it on a console.
It's just the gameplay is holding down buttons and flicking the stick. That's what you're saying.
That's all the game is. I mean, there's no. It's like people would say that, believe it or not, when Maniac Mansion was a game, and all those Flash games were out. People didn't call them Flash games because they were just point and click. And they're like, well, that's not a game. And it's like, well, it's a good thing you're not in charge of the world and statements. So
I was just curious your opinion. The games like these,
I don't
call them games. I call them experiences because even though you're doing something, and then there's plenty of games like walking simulators. I call walking.
Well, if we talk about like the FMVs, those I don't consider.
And those
games.
Can be experiences too because you're just
those are just playable movies to me. Yeah.
To me, if you're playing a game, like there's some technique to it, there's some depth to it. So I don't mind. I'm not dissing on anything. This is just a conversation. I just see them as experiences that you interact with.
Yeah. No.
So let's talk about Heavy Rain, and this is a warning here. If you've not played Heavy Rain, I'll let you know right now. As of a couple days ago, all the Quantic Dream games were under $2 on Steam. You will never find better spent money than under $2 on Steam for Quantic Dream.
Especially not for Heavy Rain.
Holy shit.
That's a great game too. I mean, I got to see if I can find the physical for this.
There's PS3. I don't think I got a PS4 physical, but there's a PS3 one.
Is there? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Let's set this up. So spoilers now. If you don't want to know about the story, then too bad. Stop listening.
Well,
don't stop listening to us.
No. I was going to add to the whole thing that where my experience was glitching. You know, the controls are already stressful enough when you're playing this game. The buttons themselves having a nervous breakdown doesn't help. You know,
when it's already twitchy enough, and you have to input something that's like QuickTime events flashing at you and vibrating.
So you know how long it took to cut my pinky off.
Tell me the intro of Heavy Rain. Set it up, what the premise is for the entire story, as succinctly as you can.
So you are, it opens up with you, this loving husband and a wife and 2 kids, and there's a birthday party, and you're hanging out, and your life is nothing short of amazing. You're fucking Greg Brady architect, and you live this idyllic life. And you decide one day to go to the mall, and you, for whatever reason, you lose your kid when your wife specifically says, you watch him, Jason. And you lose him. And then you find him, and he gets hit by a car, and he dies. And the next scene, which was very dramatic because they didn't even explain like how much longer it was, this guy is destitute. He lives.
He loses everything. I mean,
he loses everything, but they just cut to this him living in the projects. Well, sadly,
you probably didn't make it far enough, but it explains that he was in a coma for 6 months. He actually, and this leads to why he. Well, we won't get to that part, but he goes through a 6-month coma. He loses his wife. He gets partial custody of his kid. His kid doesn't even like being around him anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's depressed. It's like the flip flop, complete opposite. It tells you talked in a podcast about having a sick child can break apart a family. Well, think about what losing a child can do to a family.
Oh,
That's where he's at. So that's where
it picks up. And the saddest part of that scene is you manually having to microwave chicken.
I know, for your right? Son. Oh, and he just gives him the food and he just watches him eat. So here's what I love about these games too: is they give you these moments. Okay, there's these moments where you just take time. You can just sit there and just let it run. And the reason I like that is because I kind of like people watching. Sometimes I like sitting behind my glasses.
Specifically, this one woman.
Totally, totally sounds like a creep, because if I say it, it's like I like watching people when they don't realize they're being
right.
watched.
Yeah,
it sounds creepy. And I don't mean it like in a weird way. I like watching facial expressions of people and wondering what they're thinking and stuff. And so they give you these poignant moments in the game where it's emotional, and you can just let it sit and play out, and you can watch, because the motion capture in these games, Quantic Dream did something revolutionary with their motion capture. The entire studio developed and you can watch in the extras how they go about the motion capture and the stunts and all this kind of stuff. You have not, even in 2026, you have not seen motion capture and graphics like this. It's just gorgeous. Still, 15 years later or whatever. But I forgot. I took my own train of thought off the trail. So pick it up there.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, it was more about like the sadness that you feel after all this about his son, and then he proceeds after that to lose his second son. So I don't know about you.
That's the side story, is what's going on outside of his own story. Is there's this serial killer that's taking children in broad daylight. They're all about 9 to 13 years old,
right?
And they're showing up dead, being drowned by rainwater within 4 to 5 days. And you find out that the serial killer.
So much rain in this city.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Seattle.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, is this Washington? But when the water hits 6 inches in a period of 4 days, the kid that's been kidnapped will drown. And so he loses his second kid, who gets kidnapped at a playground because he has a blackout, and that's where these blackouts come into play. He's losing time because he keeps blacking out and things happening and waking up and coming to, and that's part of this coma. He starts becoming a suspect in the serial killer thing. And he starts believing himself, I'm blacking out and killing children.
Yeah. He thinks he's the origami killer. The origami killer leaves like these little origami things on the victims with a rose on their chest or whatever.
Orchid.
Blah, 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 blah. Orchids, yeah. And so it comes to a point where he gets a letter in the mail, and it says, if you love your son. This whole game is like, how much do you love your son? Like, the whole game is the question. How far would you go to save somebody you love? But after playing it a few hours, I just want to know why everybody walks like a horse.
This is you got to remember it's PS3. And here's the other funny thing. okay, so the graphics, yes, the mocap is amazing, but the
Yeah.
PS3 is also the first time with graphics that they were able to move the lips independently from the teeth. And so
Right.
the mouths and stuff with the people talking is a little
Yeah.
funky and like over dramatic, like I'm doing on YouTube right now. But the funniest thing is there's this sex scene in there, and I called it the most autistic sex scene I've ever seen in my life. Because it's like two disabled people going at it and like awkwardly kissing because
Right.
the mouths just don't work right and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
as
God.
amazing as the mocap is, there is still some like dated move to the movements and stuff like that because this is still PS3 updated for the PS4. So, little dated, but it's still gorgeous at the same time.
Yeah, no, I mean the motion capture was amazing. Like the cutscenes where it's loading the next scene and
Oh,
it's
you can
telling
see every
you,
pore in their face. It's showing the
right?
facial recognition. You got
That has to
literally
be an
every
update, right? That's
pore in
not from
every. Nope,
PS3.
that's how it really. I couldn't believe how much it blew me away. Even my wife got in on these games back in the day with PS3.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
remembered. She came in and she sat down when I was playing it the other day. She remembered like me playing this, 10 years ago on the PS3.
Yeah.
And she was totally into it. She like and Detroit Become Human. She played the entire thing with me. Like in anything,
Such
any
a great
game
game
that
too.
my wife pays attention to, like
Yeah.
that's forever in my heart. The fact she sat with me through all of Detroit Become Human and to where What Remains of Edith Finch and Firewatch and
Oh,
Until
wow.
Dawn and Heavy Rain and stuff. So she pays attention to these story games. So it's already a beautiful thing that she even spent time with me and played these games in the first place. It was great.
That's
So
beautiful.
they're powerful.
I love
games.
that. My
Yeah.
wife just comes into the living room and farts, and then walks away.
Yeah, what the hell are you
So,
doing? But anyway, so where it picks up, and I told you, I'm like, this is straight up like Saw, except
it's all it is. Yeah, it's
instead of
Saw.
you want to play a game, it's like, what will you do for your child? And
Right.
so go ahead and
Yeah,
set
yeah.
up what he has to do is the trials, and I'll let Paul talk about to where he stopped.
Okay, so you play mainly as Ethan Hawke, or Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, you keep calling him Ethan Hawke. That's the actor, dude. It's not.
Ethan Mars is the character. The father, what can only be described as the worst decade of his life, literally. His son is kidnapped by the origami killers. This is after his first son dies, and then he puts it just puts the origami killer puts Ethan through a series of tests that require harm, and it's Saw. So it's Saw. It's Saw. I don't know how to. So
Well,
I got.
what's the first test?
Well, the first test was drive 5 miles in the wrong direction on the highway.
Five-lane highway, wrong
A
direction.
5-lane highway,
5
wrong
miles.
direction. And that's terrifying because the controls are a little crazy because some of the scenes with the controller responding, you need the reflex of like a Navy SEAL.
I was wondering how you were going to deal with that with old reflexes, because even I'm a little slow on those reflex, like those quick time events now, and I was like,
Yeah.
he's going to struggle.
It was brutal, but I got it. I mean, I was able to figure it out. There are some parts where you play and the controller buttons that pop up, you're holding the controller not traditionally. You
gotta,
just so you can
there's like
reach all
5
the
buttons you have to
buttons.
hold down at once. So you've like claw grabbed your controller to hold down 3 with 2, like 3 fingers. And
Yeah,
2.
they're like R1, L2, square,
But also X
circle,
and square,
and you're
yeah.
just like, wait, what?
And the thing is, you have to hold yourself very steady because you could have all
Right.
these buttons pushed down. They're going to make
And
you
you
hold it for 3
move,
to 5
you
seconds.
move the
twitch,
controller, it's over. Yeah,
fuck everything up. And not only that, you affect the entire storyline by fucking that up.
right. So he has to do these trials, and he's got this box. He gets a letter in the mail that says, "Hey, go look in this train locker." And you go look in it, and there's like a shoebox. You open up the shoebox. There's all these little origamis in it. But if you open up the origami figures, there's little things about their little tests. One of them, like I said, we already mentioned, is the driving wrong way up the highway, right? And then you get out of that after killing police officers.
Yeah, he wrecks literally. He had to drive to a certain point, and like literally meters past it, he wrecks and flips the car, and like nearly dies. But he makes
And
it
what
out
cracks
of it.
me up is that each one of these trials, the next step is literally under his feet or some shit. Like when I crashed the car, it was like the voice thing was like, "You've passed this test. The key is inside this message thing," and you're like, "Fuck you!" It's like I didn't have to drive the wrong way.
And so go to the next one. What's the second one? It gets crazier. It gets worse each time.
So the next one was so you go home and there's this the hottest, nicest stranger who decides to take care of you.
This is Madison. She finds him like fucked up in the parking lot, like broken ribs from crashing a car, like near death, and like drags him to his hotel room and
starts taking care of him. And even after he showers, she's peeking in. Where are these women? Josh, I need one of these women. You like that shot of
man ass? You get a full, like, almost frontal of her naked, like tits and all. It's a full body scan. And they show you the model that played her, too, in the extras. Like, she, of course, is the hot model. But, her, the way she actually took some clips of it, because I was going to make stupid memes or GIFs out of it. The way she looked, shaking her ass. This is the world's perkiest butt I've ever seen in my life. It is literally a shelf you could rest your beer on, because the upper glutes are so well developed. Yes, I'm a physical therapist.
Not one exercise routine shown of her.
I really wanted to ask her what her upper glute development was, because that was a shelf she built with her buttocks. Right. And you see all this in the shower scene and everything, and it really is, like I said, this motion capture is lifelike.
It is.
But yeah, so she's a hot stranger. What she is a journalist. She doesn't tell you that.
No.
But she just is kind of a kind stranger, and he's like wondering why you're helping me out, but she gets involved in the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then, he keeps coming back from this trial. So second trial, what does he do?
So the second trial, he has to go to this power plant, and
how does he get through to the power plant, though?
You go through the most dangerous power plant ever in the history built in man. Not since fucking White Westinghouse has built the first power plant has this been a more dangerous power plant.
Apparently there's just live coils everywhere.
Live coils and electric just flying in different directions.
But I mean, how did you get to the live wires and stuff? What did you have to do? Would you do that for your daughter?
So you have to,
you have to crawl through broken glass.
You crawl through broken glass, which it's like, A, how did it get here? B, you're like, whatever. You crawl through broken glass, and you get out, and then you have to go through this gauntlet of live electricity.
Wires. Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest, and I'm not gonna start my picks.
Oh, here we go.
But you so much as come near within inches of some of that electric, you're dead.
Oh, I got zapped 4 times, yeah.
Crawling through and getting shocked like he touched an outlet. You're dead. You're dead.
Yeah, those coils are killing you. Well, what's funny too is that I think there's a trophy if you make it through without getting hit. But when you do get hit, that actually affects the story, because then you have this massive burn that she has to treat.
Yeah.
Back in the hotel. And so here's what's funny. He doesn't have time to rest and recover. She literally starts trying to patch him up from a full car accident. He heads out an hour later because he has to do this before the rainwater comes. So now he's crawling through broken glass. He electrocutes the fuck out of himself. He makes it back to the hotel. Now he's mutilated.
Right.
He's got a giant burn singe on his thing, and he's near death, and she's patching him up again. And guess what?
And not one question comes to her mind.
Nobody's talking about
what do you do for a living?
What is even going on here? No.
One sentence. You live a pretty dangerous life.
Right.
And it's like, yeah.
And then 3 hours later,
a porno? What? Yeah.
He gets the new video from finishing trial 2 and sees that, it keeps showing his son with the water rising. Yeah, his son's alive, the water's rising. So guess what? He takes a few hours, he heads back out again. And what does he do for trial 3? What does he have to do?
He goes to this broken down hotel, and he sits down at what looks like an iPad mini, and he plays it, and it's like, you have 5 minutes to cut off a finger.
He accuses himself.
He
accuses himself.
He goes around and, again, the end of that one pissed me off, because they were like, your reward is under the table. Fuck you!
I could have just looked under the table instead of taking my finger off.
Everyone has a simple reward that's in your hand all this time, Ethan.
Since this is where you stopped, let's address this then. What he thinks. He thinks he's testing himself. He thinks during these blackouts, he's testing his love for his son and setting up all these things, and that he's done this entire thing to himself.
Yeah.
So he thinks he's proving to himself as the origami killer in these blackouts that he's a good dad.
Right.
Okay, and none of that's the reality. So that's where you left off, was with trial 3.
Well,
right?
I failed, just so you know. I don't know if there is Did you pass the electric and get to the other side?
Oh, yeah. Oh, did you die in it?
I died, but before I died, like it wouldn't let me try again. He just ran to the coward door.
You failed, yeah. So it must have been.
So it wouldn't let me try again. Like it wouldn't let me go again. I was like, all right, I got it. And that was like pretty much the last one that I had to do. And he turned around, and I'm just like, come on. Like I have it. I'm at the last one. Let me do it. But he ran out the coward door.
Well, it gets even worse. But he still got. Because
I didn't get a reward there.
Now you just get another video. Just keep showing your son like nearly dead. He's gonna drown. It's the last one. So you get a fourth one, and it gets even worse. He tells you to go kill a man. You have to literally go into someone's home and assassinate somebody. Nice. And so he follows through with it. And here's where my moral compass got fucked.
Right.
You go in, and it turns out this dude is a bad dude. He's a drug dealer. He's literally dealing drugs, killing people. Horrible. But you break into his house, and you're around his children.
Yeah.
He's driven to save his own son. Ethan is. But at the same time, now you're face to face. You've got a gun pointed at a man's head that you don't know in his child's room in front of his bed with his kid's drawings and toys and stuff like that. and it just puts you into this moment right there. It's like, you're gonna kill the guy for your kid, or are you gonna walk away? And I couldn't do it. I don't even knowing to save my kid and I can't be mean even in games that let you be evil. And so I just got so like emotionally conflicted in that moment. I'm like, I don't care if you're a bad person. You have a family and a home and people that love you. And it just hit me too hard. And so I failed that, but it didn't kill my son. And then the fifth one, what was the fifth trial? I literally forgot. Trial 4, kill a man. Or was that the last one? No, that was
No, there was one more, wasn't there? There was 5 origamis.
I'm confused.
When I opened up the box, there was 5 origamis, and I had
No, you're right. You're right. 3. I just don't. I see. I labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. I have so many notes here. I may have just lost it. That sucks. Well, anyway, what do you have to say? Let me look at my notes.
Yeah, no, it's just underneath all of this genuinely compelling murder mystery, you're constantly making decisions without knowing what they'll lead to, except for like a flash drive with your son actively dying. And the possibility of permanently screwing up the story makes even the smallest choices so stressful. You know, I mean, in the beginning it was you screaming, Jason! You know.
Then you go around screaming, Sean, or whatever his kid's
name is. Yeah, and then you feel Sean. I mean, you feel for the guy. What he's going through, but it's like, and the idea that, I don't know if you got to this scene, but where the cop goes to his psychologist and literally beats the shit out of him to break his oath.
The cop does? I don't remember. But this is what
he goes to Ethan's psychologist because they think Ethan is the origami killer. So
that cop. I thought you were talking about the detective. Oh, the cop. Oh, yeah, the cop's a piece of shit. He basically, he's the one that convinces Ethan that it's him also. So here's what we didn't talk about. You've got 2 side people you play as. We got so caught up in the being a father part of it, which is the biggest story. You play as this guy, Detective Shelby, a private investigator on the side. The Detective Shelby has this lady, Lauren, that helps him out also, and her kid was killed by the origami killer. Yeah. So you have the perspective from that. He's trying to do a investigation outside of that. And then you have the FBI and that cop you're talking about involved. There's Jaden, who has this crazy virtual reality glasses thing that can spot like crime scene, crime scene investigation thing. That's a whole like sub gameplay thing.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, it becomes a big deal in the end because who ends up being this origami killer like did not fucking see that coming. Do you know the ending? I'm not going to say it yet, but
I mean, no.
We're getting there. Okay.
Okay.
But so what did you think of playing as Detective Shelby? Because he's a kind of just like a disgruntled, like you can tell he's a whiskey drinking cop.
He's a weird dude. A lot of PIs are retired cops, you know, yeah. And they're disgruntled either from their job or they're just retired and they're tired of doing this bullshit anymore. And that seems to be the main theme with PIs, you know, in games. It feels like he's a good guy. Because the first thing you do is beat somebody up to save a woman. And
that's right. Yeah, he saves Lauren, who is working as a hooker because she's destroyed her life.
Son died.
Her son died.
Yeah, it was one of the origami killer's sons, and then he. So
he has a good heart, right? Like, you know.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't understand why we need him in the story, to be honest with you. There's so many characters. It's a murder mystery, and then there's four people not communicating with each other at all.
Anybody that watching this podcast that knows the story knows why I'm smiling right now.
What
about Jaden? What'd you think of playing as Jaden and the FBI dude?
Look.
You didn't care about any of these side stories, huh?
Did I start my picks yet?
Are we picking again? Quit picking it, dude. Quit picking it. Leave it alone.
The game just has so many holes in it. And it's not the story per se. It's the character development that annoyed me. This FBI director looks like he needs to be managing a Verizon. You don't necessarily, when you say FBI agent, you don't think of this 20-year-old who has to snort fucking whatever he's snorting.
He's addicted to some kind of like triptide or whatever. Yeah,
he's got to snort to keep it together in a case.
Causes him to hallucinate and shit. He reminds me of the detective in Detroit Become Human. They seem really similar. You remember the robot detective? They come off real similar to each other.
But it just like everything was just like if I got a letter in the mail like Ethan did, that said, go to this locker, blah, blah, blah. And I'm genuinely upset about everything that's going on. Wouldn't you bring that letter to the police? Wouldn't you bring the box of origami?
You're going to try and think logically about stuff. We're not doing that. We don't think logically about things.
Okay.
No.
He seems like a very logical guy for the first 30 minutes of the game. He seems like a very decent, down-to-earth, logical guy. But I get it. I get trauma. It's
about the passion of a father and how much they do for their kid, and so
you lose your shit. I'm telling you from experience. I've had doctors tell my two daughters that they weren't going to live tonight. So I get the hole you go into. Thankfully, they didn't pass on, but I get the hole you go into because you just do nothing but crawl up into a ball, and you just. But I don't know. I can't speak to it. I just can't speak to it because I don't know that I would not go crazy like that guy. Knowing my depression and my everything else that goes on in my head, I might as well. I could have, I mean.
So and I knew. I mean, every parent's going to say they do.
You know what I mean?
For their kid. Any parent that doesn't say they do anything for their kid isn't a very good parent.
In theory.
This is Dad's Game Review. I don't have kids, but I do some crazy shit to save my dog. So that's all right. I can relate to.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ready for anybody that wants to tune out and not hear the ending? You ready for me to blow your mind?
Oh, you want me to play a horn or something?
No, don't play anything. Don't push any buttons.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the story. So Madison goes to see this old lady. The old lady is the mother of. We have this kid, John Shepard, who died in a mine accident. He drowned under some rushing water. His brother tried to save him. His brother was well, we don't know the name of him just yet. John Shepard drowns. His brother's desperately trying to save him. His brother tries to go get his dad, who is some stupid drunk, and says, "My brother's drowning, Dad. You've got to come save him. You've got to come save him." And his dad won't listen and throws the kid down, and he goes back, and it's like one of the saddest moments is this kid kneels down, holds his brother's hand, and has to say goodbye to him and watch him die as he's drowning under rainwater because his leg got stuck. He fell into this like quarry area. Yeah. His leg got stuck. He's drowning. He's got water rushing over him.
Right.
Okay. The origami killer is that kid that was, we don't know his name just yet, and so Madison finds out about the grave of John Shepard and tries to find out who is the brother, and goes and talks to this demented mother of John Shepard, and finally gets the name, and the name of his brother is Scott Shelby, the detective, private investigator. Okay, so the private investigator, Detective Shelby, his brother is who died. His dad is the one that would not come help him and save his son, his brother, and all this kind of stuff. Detective Shelby is the origami killer because what he has been doing for the last years, since his trauma, he's been trying to find a father that would do anything to save their child. Okay.
Right.
So he's been kidnapping children, and all these fathers have failed. These kids have all died. He's not killing them himself. Yeah, he's trapping them and letting rainwater kill him like his brother died.
Right.
Okay. And so it's happened now with 5, 6 kids, 7 kids. They're all about the same age like his brother, and finally Ethan he shows up, he rescues his child, and he proves, that I would do anything for my kid, and that's what Detective Shelby wanted to see. And you have this moment there where you're just like so conflicted and like fucking amazing that he did this, and Shelby, what the hell? And I never even once considered you like the private investigator is the origami killer.
Right.
I was like, how did I not hear about this like for 15 years?
Right.
So, but that's how. And he gets he gets killed. He gets tossed into a freaking chipper, and
nice.
It's totally mutilated. And I ended up there's 13 endings, I think it is. Or I don't remember how many.
13?
20 different endings.
Really?
Yeah, but what it is, it's kind of exponential. It's like there's 4 endings for Ethan, 3 endings for the private detective, like 2 endings for Matt, and so it comes together to form an ending after you piece together what happened with each, because whoever dies, whoever lives, whoever did certain things comes out, and I got all the happiest endings. I don't know how I did that, because I always fuck up narrative games. I always do something that screws it up, but my life turned out great. I ended up with Madison. I got her sweet ass shelf booty on my bed. My son loves me again. Like I saved him, and we're
miraculously,
right? Shelf booty and my kid. I mean, like, we're good. So
what happened to your wife? She was just like, fuck that.
She was done with me anyway. I don't need her. I got Madison's ass, literally. And so that is
exchanged you for a new model, babe.
And so what do you
a newer, hotter model?
And so overall, what do you think of Heavy Rain? Like, to me, this is a 10 out of 10 game. I don't give a shit what people think about the gameplay or anything like that. I like the games that make me feel something, and every single Quantic Dream game has made me feel powerful feelings, and I love that.
Right. So, to conclude, Heavy Rain, so it's definitely aged, graphic-wise. The graphics show their age. The controls occasionally feel like you're, I don't know, steering a refrigerator down a staircase, And
it's true. Trying to walk the guys around. Oh my god, it's awkward and clunky as hell.
Some of the actor performances, they go from powerful emotional drama to like community theater,
laughable. Yeah, some of the lines are.
But the story still pulls you in. Yeah, it's weird. It's clunky. Definitely depressing. And it's unintentionally hilarious at times. And somehow, after all these years, it's still a hell of an experience. So I highly recommend it. I give it 8 soggy origami cranes out of 10.
All right, because all that Heavy Rain, right? Soggy origami.
Yeah, there you go. Especially if you've ever wanted to experience the excitement of hunting a serial killer while simultaneously struggle to walk around your own kitchen. Then this
turn around, turn the fuck around, god damn it, turn around. They have this pause between the input, like you pushing right, they have to go through this whole animation because it's mocap, so they're going through this whole animation. So if you decide to change directions, it's like a 3-second turnaround. You're like fucking, it's so annoying. Right. Okay, anyway, that's Heavy Rain. Let me give you a quick Beyond Two Souls. This one's cool. This one, people didn't respond as strongly to this one. I thought it was still a great story. I didn't finish it. I picked it back up. Like, it was something that my wife and I were playing. We started because she had loved Detroit and Heavy Rain. Yeah. We had started Beyond Two Souls. We were like 5 hours in. What's cool about this one is it stars Ellen Page, who we now know as Ethan Page. And Elliot Page. I'm sorry. I see you said Ethan Hawke so many times. Elliot Page, my mistake.
Yeah.
But I swear, so this came out in 2013. Stranger Things came out in 2016. You told me a funny story about the origin of that, but I swear they got some influence from Beyond Two Souls, because it's about a young girl who was raised, who had these like kind of psychic powers type of things, can manipulate and control things. She has this imaginary friend who can kind of, it's like this alternate power, this entity that can fuck things up and interact with things that you control. She's under this experimentation with Willem Dafoe is in this as well. They got big names for this. It's real acting, and it's fantastic acting. They keep the gameplay the same. It's still flicking directions and stuff like that. But it's really well acted. It gets very supernatural and very crazy. I want to replay the end. I'm gonna finish it anyway. Even though we're done with this, because the ending's like pretty intense. But totally worth playing as well on top of that. But we're calling this the downfall of Quantic Dream. Did you do any research on what's happening with Quantic Dream right now?
Only that there's a lot of stalled issues. Like, they're running out of money and they're downsizing their studio, and it seems to be on like a revolving cycle. That's all.
Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, we just
I'd rather you fill me in, because a lot of what I read was opinion.
No, I went kind of deep research to figure out what's going on with all this.
Okay.
And here's their biggest mistake. Okay, why do companies not stick with what makes them wonderful? Why does every company have to search for that billion-dollar live service game or that huge MMO or that fucking? Why do you put 8 years of development into something called Spellcasters Chronicles? Okay. This is what Quantic Dream decided to do after creating 5 amazing story-driven narrative experiences. They decided to create a MOBA. You know what a MOBA is?
Massive online
battle arena.
Yeah.
Okay. The examples of MOBAs are League of Legends and Dota 2. Stuff I have no interest in whatsoever, despite how big they are. They're always part of esports. They're live service games. They make a shitload of money.
Yeah.
This company decided to make one of those, and it was a 3-on-3, like, MOBA. Like, why? This is nothing in your wheelhouse. This is not and they're just trying to cash in. This small French company decides, we're going to do it. We're going to hit that $1 billion like strike rich MOBA. Are you shitting me? Nobody breaks into these, like, it's like every 10 games that flop, one makes a little bit of money and like takes off. It's driving me crazy that these companies keep doing this.
Does it remind you of like, so like when you ever, I mean, every musician's biop, right, is them playing a song, and like a company steps in and supports them basically to play this song everywhere. But that's not what this guy, the artist, really wants to do, right?
Right.
So like here's an example. What Hootie and the Blowfish, right? Darius Drucker always wanted to be a country singer. But
and he does the country.
He pumped out those shitty songs for 20 years.
No, but this is flip flop. This is
until he did what he really wanted to do. So like, I don't know. Maybe they are a part of a bigger studio, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, we really want to do this. And
I know.
Like,
I see this purely as trying to just cash in on they were just trying to hit that big money. They were and they didn't stick with because I don't know how much these games sell. I didn't look it up. I'm sure a few million, but they're not 20 million sellers and stuff like that. Right, they were looking for that big payoff. And it fucking failed. It came out like it wasn't even a full release. It was out for 3 months with servers up. It had almost no player count. It was shut down in 3 months. Nobody gave a shit whatsoever. So
are the servers on? Yeah, they've been running all night.
Yeah, they've been running. We have three people in there. So they announced after this that was shut down. They lost a shitload of money. That was 8 years of development. I don't even know when Detroit Become Human released, but this Spellcasters Chronicles was in development for 8 years.
Yeah.
They could have pumped out 2 other narrative games in that point in time. So that thing is shot down. They lost a shitload of money, and they announced they're releasing 115 workers, which is 25% of the workforce.
Right.
Completely. The thing is, the only thing they have in development is this game called fucking Star Wars Eclipse.
Eclipse?
I didn't want them to make a Star Wars game either. Why? Now I'm guessing this is a narrative game as well. I'm guessing. I hope they're not trying to do some action adventure. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I haven't looked into it.
Right.
But now they're saying they don't have enough staff to even finish Star Wars Eclipse. So what do you want out of us? They went on strike. So the workers, on the day that Lucasfilm was going to come into the studio and see their progress on Star Wars Eclipse, all the workers fucking walked out and then went on strike. Guess what? You're going to lay off a quarter of our staff? Fuck you. We're walking out. So now nobody's going to get shit done. You're going to get no games.
Right.
So now we're at this standoff. They're saying they're not going to have enough money to finish Star Wars Eclipse. It's their only thing in their works. They're going to lay off a quarter of their staff. And now one of my favorite companies in history has fucked everything up. Can you tell I care a little bit? Because I have been tagging them on X for the last like 2 years since I got on X and started doing stuff, being like, you ever gonna fucking release anything else? You got anything coming? Anything in the works? What's going on, Quantic Dream? Yeah, I see you, you stupid fucking social media manager.
Sort of like what Disney did to Star Wars, you know?
Just take it over and bastardize it and then pump out 12 like
unrealistic stories
just to cash in and make money on the franchise.
I mean, they had to make their money back. They spent $4 billion on it. So
that's where Quantic Dream's at. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't care whatsoever about Star Wars Eclipse because I'm not shitting on Star Wars. It's just not a huge deal to me. I enjoy it for whatever. It's fine. I watched finally watched the newest Skywalker trilogy like earlier in the year, and it was fine. But it's not something I really care about, so I can't be excited about the Star Wars Eclipse game that they're already way in debt for, which is probably going to end up closing them because it's going to flop too.
Right. Like when somebody at work was talking to me about Star Wars, and they're like, "Are you a Star Wars fan, Paul?" And I'm like, "I used to be." Like, before they came out with
I got
800 different prequels, and I have no idea what's going on anymore. Because I just, like it's like something that somebody's not excited about and trying to get you to be excited about it. And it's like, it was a great story. I loved it. I loved the trilogy. I loved the beginning prequels, and even the 6, 7, 8 or whatever the fucking, but then it just started to branch off into all these different stories, and I just was like, I'm good.
I just got to milk it. But this is the last. I never once thought I wanted Quantic Dream to make a Star Wars game. So I'm completely checked out on this company now. I kind of just want to see what happens, and what I hope is what happened with Ubisoft laying off a shitload of people that decided to leave and go and make Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Go ahead, lay off your people. Let's take the creative people in Quantic Dream that want to keep making great things. Let them go and go make something. It's fine. If they've been working on any of these games, unless the whole studio is brand new since Detroit Become Human, I don't know what the fuck's happened. But
I'm still waiting for Hideo Kojima to remake PT.
I literally was listening to a show earlier, and you just referenced the same shit.
Yeah, but
over.
PT? I don't think I've ever mentioned it.
Yes, I literally listened to one of our podcasts a couple days ago, and you're talking about PT, and you did it in another podcast like a while back too. PT, right. Alan Wake, Horizon, The Last of Us, something new, Paul. Jesus fucking Christ.
I did.
Anyway,
Blueprint.
How about your bonus games? What you been playing for bonus games?
So.
Oh, that's right. You played your Atari.
Yeah, it was just my Atari game station. that encompassed all of my my endless research onto how to turn my Atari cartridges to make them digital, so I could load them on the Atari.
Eventually I'm going to look into emulation stuff because I want to play. There's some PS2 and PS3 games I want to. Well, not
but
PS2.
What's interesting is that this rabbit hole I went down because I got like all those Atari cartridges, and there were people that make like physical hardware that you plug cartridges into, and it turns it into digital files, like a bin file.
Well, that's what Xbox is kind of like hinting that they're going to do. I think it's bullshit. I don't think anything has been confirmed, but Xbox is hinting that you're going to be able to transfer your physical games to digital with some update. I don't fucking know. I don't quote me on it, but that could be just a bunch of people making up stuff. But yeah, you can. I did it with my some PlayStation games, PS1 games back in the day, and just burned them to digital.
What was your bonus games?
I got a little list here. So yesterday I did this recording. I got this indie horror from Gamefly. I rented it. I ended up clicking to keep because it literally released at $20 brand new. But the company decided to release it physically. So $20 for indie horror. I recorded the first. I do this series on YouTube called Gosh Josh Tries Something, and it's where I just go in blind to a game and just try it. So we can both check it out. I did it yesterday, and it's okay. It has potential. It's like, I don't know, zombies in an underwater facility. It feels like kind of walking sim with a little bit of action, but people it gets a little better. But honestly, for $20, like it released brand new for $20 on Amazon. So beneath a chance. It seems like it has a little potential.
Yeah.
Last night I also recorded this VR thing that I've wanted to do for a long time. There's this game called Before Your Eyes. And the entire game is controlled by blinking because the PSVR 2 has facial recognition, eye recognition, all that pattern tracing, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It is a story about being in the afterlife after you're dead and looking back and reflecting on your life, and you control the scenes of your life by blinking. Yes, It's heavy. I cried at one point, and I had played it previously. I just forgot everything about it, but I wanted to record this experience for YouTube, and so I sat down for almost 2 hours last night and just played through it, and it gets you, man. And there's times you don't want to blink. You're lost in this moment and you just want to enjoy the moment for what it is in your life, and you accidentally blink, and I just no, something great was gonna happen because like you're reliving all these experiences that and it's emotional stuff. So it was kind of, I'm gonna post that on YouTube. If anybody wants to check it out, it should be up tonight on YouTube. Citizen Sleeper 2. I mentioned this game once before, but I decided to restart it because I was playing it on Game Pass and I restarted it on PlayStation. But it's literally a game of text and dice rolls. I cannot make it sound cool. It is all text based. It's like a choose your own adventure. You remember those books, Choose Your Own Adventure?
Yeah.
As a kid in the 80s?
Yeah. And it was always like turn to page 30, and if you don't like it,
but you read the story and then turn to page 30 to do this, turn to page 20. It feels like that. That's what this game is like, and it's like a cyberpunk like supernatural space drama. But it's all text, and I can't make it sound cool, but I enjoy it. It's something I would hate. I don't even like that kind of stuff. I'm not like a D&D player, but Citizen Sleeper, there's 2 of them, and they're kind of really cool. They suck me in with the stories. I wanted to tell people we did Onimusha is our most watched YouTube podcast ever.
That's amazing.
We broke like I think 350 views on it. We've actually had 4 podcasts out of the last 8 or last 6 that like broke a couple hundred views. So that's people are actually starting to pay attention on YouTube. But we mentioned on the Onimusha one, the 4th one was the weird, unique one that is kind of like controversial in the series.
Yeah,
and it like totally strays from the original Onimusha path. The 4th one was just released on PS Plus. They skipped the 3rd one.
For free.
Yeah, included on Plus, or it's $4.99 if you want to buy it on PSN. What's different is like the first 3 are like, typical survival horror. This one goes into like an ARPG, like anime inspired like horror still, and completely ditches like some of the stuff that made the Onimusha the series. So I'm gonna try something weird and different that I was excited to try. I'm kind of pumped it's on there now because I played 3 of them. I never played the 4th. So Onimusha you can check out on Plus. And then the last one was Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tapes. It's an RPG that came out, another ARPG. This is a big release by Square Enix. It only released originally on the Switch digitally. I think it was only digitally, and it just got a physical release, and people love it. I'm having fun with it. It's a great ARPG, cool pixel style, beautiful art, and stuff like that. And,
yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay. All right.
How about news?
Let's talk about some news.
And now it's time for gaming news.
Thanks, Kevin. So, me and you share a news item, so either we could talk about it, or I could tell you which.
Well, I'll just say that Xbox, when Xbox was doing all those cuts a couple months ago, or whatever, they let 2 or 3 companies go back to being independent. The 2 companies were Double Fine Studios, which I love.
Double Fine, Psychonauts.
They make the Psychonauts and stuff, and then they let Compulsion Games go, which they released South of Midnight. So and now
I don't know what they're working on, but if they let them be independent, does that mean is that their way of saying we're cutting you off financially?
Well, no, that's the news is that they can now earn their money now. They have rights to their games back. No longer Microsoft's no longer taking a cut of it. They're now independent studios again. That was the news.
Microsoft at the same time is like, we're not paying for your shit anymore.
No, they don't have to. They get to self-fund now. They're back under their own control, which is what it should have been in the first place. I don't think Double Fine would have ever released a multiplayer battle game called Kiln, considering that's nothing like what they make when they make character-driven, narrative games. So, and I feel that was Microsoft's influence on things, making them make something that they could have microtransacted for or something like that. I don't even know. I never played Kiln, but a multiplayer online game doesn't seem like their style. So go back to being independent.
I mean, there was another one that they're bringing back, or it's like an internal game, and it's called Amnesia Fortnite or something, but it's tied to a Kickstarter. So I don't know if it's something that they're really...
I have no idea what that is, because Amnesia is a series, but it's a PC series. It's an old horror game.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
But
Compulsion Games, if you guys didn't play South of Midnight, it really didn't get any... I hate how it was very underappreciated. It's like basically a Louisiana Alice in Wonderland. Like Bayou Alice in Wonderland. It was really cool. Really cool experience.
Or just Louisiana.
Yeah, whatever. And they will now get paid for it if you go check it out. It's on Steam and stuff. What else you got?
I got that Netflix is closing 2 of its gaming studios. One of them being the developer Night School, which is the ones that created Oxenfree.
I do know Oxenfree. That was a good game. I never played the sequel though.
Oxenfree was good. The second one, it wasn't as good.
I can't believe you played them. Those are like some indies.
I loved Oxenfree.
Really?
I thought the first one was great. The second one was just a rehash of the first one. It was clear that they were under some type of pressure to finish the second one, and it just had a lot of rehashing of the same story. And it was like, well, I played this one already. It's called Oxenfree,
Yeah, maybe that's why I just wasn't as excited to try it.
I wasn't excited by it. In fact, I know this is going to be a shock, but I didn't finish Oxenfree.
Holy shit! Yeah. What? You didn't finish?
It just bored me. It was like, this is Oxenfree 1 with a little twist, So
what else you got?
The other one I got is that Hogwarts Legacy sequel is officially in development. I don't know if you played Hogwarts, the original one, but it was pretty fascinating to me.
60 hours into it last year on streams. We had a blast.
I never, like somebody at work said to me, you should really play this. And I said, I've never read the books. I've never seen one movie. And he
Neither
goes,
had I actually.
Yeah, he said, neither have I. And that's what makes this game great. So I bought it and I loved it. That's another one I played all the way to the end. And,
sweet! So you can start referencing Hogwarts now. We'll call you a Harry Pothead or whatever. Fucking
like how you can't fly your broom through the town because there's city ordinances in video games, filled with magicians. That's all I got. I just got 3 stories.
I only found some little things. Let me see here. I'll let all you guys know. Best Buy tomorrow. With the Best Buy is doing a 60th anniversary sale right now.
Right.
A lot of a lot of discounted stuff, like pretty cheap. They don't have anything I really want, but I mean, good deals on stuff. But tomorrow only, your Best Buy opens at 10 a.m. You go there in person and you get yourself a $100 gift card for $60.
It sounds not real.
No,
it sounds
one
not
per
real.
person. I think you have to have a Best Buy account. They're going to check one per account, one per person.
Yeah. Right.
But you just they have these special gift cards with 60th anniversary on them that are $100 gift cards for $60 tomorrow only. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to Six Flags Marine World in Vallejo tomorrow. Yeah, wow. I'm gonna go die on a fucking roller coaster. I'm doing quick story.
You gotta do a TikTok like everybody else.
Quick interjection here. The last time I was on a roller coaster was like 20 years ago, and I blacked out. I blacked out at Great America, scared the fuck out of me, and so I've never been back on one since. I turned into my dad. I was like, I can't because of my heart. Because I blacked out. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
They're slapping me when I'm sitting in the seat limp. Like it was not a good experience. So I've been scared ever since. So I'm trying to do things out of my comfort zone. So yeah, we're going there tomorrow. Right. But what I'm going to do on the way there, I'm going to stop at every Best Buy down there and see if I can get one. I don't know if they're going to do it per account. Because here's the thing. Okay, you're not going to believe about what I'm about to say here. You're not going to believe this.
All right, go ahead.
If I get 4 of those gift cards, okay, I can get a Switch 2 for like $260. What? Yeah, no, with as much shit as I talked about it. I was just thinking, I'm like, I'll never fucking pay $450 for a Switch 2. But if I get a bunch of $100 gift cards at $60, you save it. So my sister's going also tomorrow, and my nephew's going. Okay. And we're going to see if we can get fucking gift cards. So that's a little heads up for you guys that want to get some gift cards. I think it's a pretty...
I'm tempted to go, but at the same time, it's like, I don't shop at Best Buy. I just...
But they have video games, dumbass.
They closed. No, but they closed a lot of them here in Temecula, believe it or not. There was like 4 of them, and they're down to 1. Because they're
just go to that one, find it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to go there.
They only ever discount gift cards by like $5, maybe $8 tops. This is $40 off a gift card. Get your ass there and get one. Just good God. All right. Let's see. Okay, so July 1st was the announcement. Sony being like, guess what? We're done with physical games.
Yeah. Happy birthday, America.
I'm just gonna say I'm really disappointed in fucking consumers. I'm really disappointed in gamers. I'm really disappointed in anybody that has anything to do with physical games, because July went on record as the lowest physical sales.
Oh.
Yeah. So when that gets announced, people don't go, oh shit, we better show our support physical. They stop fucking buying it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it made $88 million, which is like, I guess, a low record for physical sales, and they went ahead and just did that after Sony announces they're not going to support physical anymore. So y'all didn't do what you were supposed to freaking do. Dipshits.
It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, but it's easier to just fall in line.
That's what they're expecting. That's what every corporation expects.
They're in control.
They're in control. They tell you what you will like, what you will consume, what you will. Yeah, this is we have
just
no
like when you, just like when you sign up for like Paramount or Disney or something. It's like, we'll give you 3 months for 99 cents, and then it's like, oh, it's actually $29 a month now, and you're like, they expect you to forget that part.
Yep.
And then see how far they can go. And then they go, oh, you're leaving? All right, we'll lower it to $10.
Every time you try and cancel anything. Yep.
Yeah.
It's freaking stupid. You know about the GTA leak? Everybody's freaking out about that. I don't really care about GTA.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I hope he keeps leaking it. Just keep showing stuff. Send everybody
like,
the
who
files.
cares?
Send them all out. I don't give a shit. It's Rockstar. Like, and it's another corporation that's they're throwing a hissy fit right now because I mean they're going legally after this. They have subpoenaed Microsoft.
They're trying to find who it is.
Discord.
It's like stop.
And they're getting all the records and stuff like that, and they're going to track them down and press every charge they can and make a real example of this person. Hey, leaker, cyber leak or whatever your name is, you keep doing that shit. You go, bud. I love it. They didn't believe he had a playable build of it. They thought it was just video. He went ahead and put up a thing of him shooting a gun into a side and writing words on it. I forget what he wrote, something about leak or whatever. But he straight up responded to them by showing them a playable build. Guess what? I got your shit. So I find that funny. You keep going, cyber leak.
I don't understand. Like I've never. Like, part of me feels like some of these leaks are set up. You know what I mean? Like,
no, this apparently came from Rockstar India. The rumor is right now that this came from somebody that worked for Rockstar India. Like, they got a build of the game, and actually apparently it was sold for
because they left the servers open or
whatever. This could all be speculation. It's whatever.
Who knows?
Xbox is releasing a $900 anniversary edition Series X.
Oh.
Yay. Wow. Wow, yeah. I don't care. It's not a Pro. There's nothing special about it. The only thing special about it is it's the anniversary edition, and it's that neon green that we know for Xbox. Oh. It's got that see-through neon green or whatever.
Right.
But no, their consoles don't sell anyway, and they just raised the prices again, so who's going to pay $900 for a fucking Xbox?
Right, yeah.
And the last thing I have is, this is going to be an interesting test. I'm not a Souls fan. I talk shit about Souls like community and all that because they're little get good bullshit. I am seriously curious because From Software's next release is exclusive to Switch 2.
Oh.
Are the Souls players all going to go buy Nintendo's little colorful shit? Like, are they going to go out and buy a Switch? I know two guys that did. Our buddy on X, Evil Food Guru, literally he built a Switch 2 just for that.
Wow.
So I'm wondering how many of these Souls players are going to do it. So what they did, Dust Bloods is I guess what it's called. It just had its beta network test or whatever the other day. It was so fucked up they couldn't do it. They had to cancel it. That's how well it's going. So, I don't know what they're. And this is a departure from typical Souls stuff. People are really conflicted. So I'm really curious if From Software is going to shoot itself in the foot with what they're trying to do, making a Switch 2 exclusive. That is. It seems really risky, but I don't really care. If the Souls genre can die, that's fine.
Especially when exclusives are falling apart now. Like, everybody's playing on everything now. So I don't know. I don't know what the plan is, but who knows? Who knows?
And that's all I got for news for recent releases. Mortal Shell 2, which is another Souls thing. A VR game came out called Pools, and this released. I actually played this on Steam a while ago. If you like the whole like backrooms liminal space vibe.
What'd you call it? Pools?
Pools, as in like swimming pools.
Pools.
That's all it's called.
Yeah.
But it's there's this, because of the movie Backrooms, there's this whole liminal space like backrooms vibe that's going around, and it is such a trip to kind of this game Pools, especially in VR. Other than that, there's not really a lot of releases. Madden came out, no one cares. I talked about the game Beneath. There's this new rhythm game that came out also at $20 for a brand new release. It's called Arrow, AAERO, and it's the sequel, Arrow 2. So if you like music rhythm games, it's a space shooter with rhythm.
Like Saber, what was that?
Yeah, like Beat Saber, but it's more it's more like Synthwave Riders, which is on VR. Or like Avicii and Vector, which is another great music game. So it's kind of a cross, but only $20 brand new. Arrow on Amazon.
Nice.
And then the big release recently was Tekken Marvel Fighters or whatever. I talked about this one before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where it's like a Marvel versus Capcom basically. Yeah. Not Tekken, Tekken, or Token or something like that. But it came out and only sold 500,000 copies, so nobody seemed to care, and that was a huge release. So that's that's a big bomb right there.
Oh man!
So do you remember? So I went ahead and I told Paul.
I know you started.
I told him ahead of time that his schedule until the middle of October. He knows exactly what he's supposed to play. So what are we doing next, Paul? See if he gets this right.
A Plague Tale.
Yay! He's gonna try and do a Plague Tale. I'm gonna try and do both Plague Tales. I already started the first one a week ago.
Humble brag.
It's not Why do you call it bragging? It's not fucking bragging. I'm just playing games here.
Because I'm still trying to finish Heavy Rain.
I don't know why you act like I'm doing something fancy and fantastic. I just sit down and play a game. It's literally all it takes. Jesus Christ. So I'll be playing that for the next... I'm going to try and get through that in Resonance, because the reason why... Or not Resonance. Requiem. Because Resonance is the new one coming out, and it releases in like a week. So there's a third one coming in the Plague Tale series, so we're going to try and cover the first two.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. Anybody, you want to plug anything? Tell anybody?
No, just find me on YouTube. Gosh Games on YouTube. That's where I'm literally putting the most effort in right now. And then my X, if you want to talk to me on X and we can bullshit, I'm pretty active there. So.
All right. Sounds good. All right, kids. Well, thanks so much for joining us again for this episode, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Peace.